What's up, world? What is up? I got my little pot right here, kind of a big pot, over a nice medium heat. What we're gonna do right now is just saute some mushrooms. I got some shiitake. Bam. All right. I got some oyster mushrooms that I bought in bulk. I'll cut them up just a little bit, nothing too crazy. We're gonna let that do its thing. Release those fluids and liquids. Got some shiitake. Alright, and we're gonna do this to start creating our modified Calabazitas, a little Mexican dish that I'm missing at the point. And I'm gonna cover this real quick, and I'll be back with the next steps. But I looked up a recipe on YouTube, but call my name kind of not really. I'm just gonna go where my gut fits in this video. Mama didn't want acid, didn't want to give up the juice, trying to give you the recipe, so I'm out here trying to figure this out on my own. And we'll be back, man. Once these kind of release their moisture in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm gonna give it a lid. We'll be right back with the next step, y'all. Hold up. So the mushrooms are plenty done. Release most of their liquids, their fluids. We hear it look kind of rubbery, but check it out, man. I'm gonna drop me part of the trio, you know what I'm saying? Check it out. So I got 2 sweet yellow onions. Then I got 1 white onion. Ask me why? I don't know, man. It's like switching it up. I don't see why you can't just go. Why you gotta use just 1 type of onion in the dish. I don't understand. But maybe some culinary standards, people's values and morals. God knows. God knows, man. Like I said, I'm kind of dibbling dabbling with the amounts of things. Not too exact, but I will add a little bit of sea salt. Get these onions to release some of the moisture. And you know, add a little season, a little flavor. There you go. So now see the bigger picture. Alright, so I got my veggies cut up. Everything prepped. I would show them, like me cutting the veggies on camera, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man, it's kind of a chore, so sticking to it like this. Alright, we're gonna do this for about, I don't know, the past recipes I've made 5, 8, 10 minutes, not too long, but gotta keep an eye on it. I don't want to burn these onions, just want to sweat them and get them a little translucent, as they might say in the recipe books. But I'll be back, man. 1 second. Hold up. So what we're gonna do is add a little bit of oil, because this is needing some oil. Even like 2 tablespoons, I guess. Always add more later. And right now, what we're gonna do is add the I chopped up 10 cloves of garlic and like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of some ginger. Now that's not traditional with the ginger, but I'm gonna add an extra little oomph. And I was filling it. It was already out there. I was cooking with it, prepping. So that's that. Let the oil and the garlic, ginger do this thing. Let it get fragrant. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I forgot what I was doing. Alright, let's get this oil. Oh my god, that ginger is strong. As soon as I stirred it up, man, I smell that. Get a nice little whiff. Alright. Everything's nice and lubricated. It was slightly burning. Went a little bit past what I thought the onion should be. About 8 or 9 minutes or so. Alright. Let that do its thing for about a minute or 2. Then I'm going to add the tomatoes, I believe. Or probably the spices next. Alright. This is smelling delicious. I'm adding my spices. Check it out, man. Not really measurements, just a whole bunch of stuff. I got a little bit of chicken bouillon cubes, some cumin, oregano, even though I have a bunch of onions and garlic, I still put onion and garlic powder. Some of that gochugaru, the Korean spice stuff. Smoked paprika, like I said, not really measurable amounts. I'm doing this off the heart. And what it feels right. Oregano, like I think I said. Oh, can't forget the black pepper and a little bit of more salt. Just a tad bit. Alright, let those spices bloom. Oh yeah, that cumin. That's what this needed. Alright, do that for another minute. And we're going to add our tomatoes, this time for real. And like I said, the mushrooms were not traditional, at least in my experience with the calabazitas from mom and my aunts and whoever I've eaten this with. But I want a little extra texture and just a little extra stuff. Is it too dark? Huh. There we go. Hopefully that's right. Alright. Add these tomatoes. Now it was, I believe, 6. Might be overkill, but hey, I did 6 tomatoes. Pretty big ones, I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Just get these tomatoes down into the mix. Let them feel the heat. Alright, we're gonna let that do its thing. We're gonna let that cook down for maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. We'll see we'll come back, we'll see what it looked like. Like I said, I'm doing this all by ear. See, you know what I'm saying, what it looked like. Put everything down. Alright, let me get that back to temp because obviously it's down low on temp. Alright, I'll be right back with those 10 minutes, man. So I know, man, you gotta be wondering, Andres, you put a little bit of paprika, a little bit of gochugaru. There ain't no chili in this one. Hold up, like, I'm doing things a little bit different. So check it out. I got 1 fresh serrano coming at the very end, I got 1 serrano, 1 jalapeno, and 1 poblano that I charred on my one of my pans, just on the stove top. You could do it in the oven. I think that might be easier next time. Charred up. Put them in that bag. Let them soak so the skin is easier to take off. And then just chop them up in little cubes, little bite-sized pieces. And then now that I added the spice, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna add our beautiful, wonderful squash. Now, what type of squash is this? Not really sure. I think it's Italian. I don't know. I had about 6, I believe. Medium size, is not too big. I split them down halfway, the long ways, and then just cut them in half. I still want to bite to them, so I could have cut them a little smaller, but then they'll get too mushy, and that's why we don't cook them. The way we cook them, we're gonna let them get involved in this sauce, in this vegetable juice, and then we're gonna cover them on the top. So that's one thing I took from that recipe I saw on YouTube. So you cook them down just a tad bit, because you want them, you know, soft, but not like a mush. So we want some consistency in the calabacita. Alright, so we're gonna cook this down for about 5 or so minutes, and then what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna turn off the heat, and then I'm gonna cover it. Let the vapor cook the squish or the squash. And that's how we gonna do it, man. That's how we gonna do it. I might add a little cheese. I'm gonna taste it, see what it looks like, see what it does. But that's it, man. I'm gonna pair it with some rice. I thought of making some beans, but it's kind of a lot. But nothing too crazy, man. I'll be right back after these 5-8 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm gonna let the vapors do its magic. I'm gonna add a little bit of sprigs of some cilantro, some chopped up cilantro. And that's what it's gonna be, man. That's a wrap on this kind of easy recipe, man. I wanted something that reminded me of home. Low key, kind of missing it, but it is what it is, man. We got to keep grinding, but you can always take time and remember and appreciate and do something for your culture. Man, I'll be back in the field. I'll probably show y'all before I put the lid on it. 1 second, y'all. Alright, man. It's been about 5 minutes, and it's already kind of, the squish is kind of already getting to that consistency I like. So I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese. Use the Viola, a Kobe Jack. This is probably not traditional, but this is the way I've had it most of my life. My mom always put cheese, and it was always kind of stringy. You would pick it up from the bowl you're eating. Just put a little bit, just for the nostalgia's sake. All right, and next up, can't forget it. I'm sorry, but I can't forget it. It might be too much for some of y'all, but hey, it's about honestly like a whole sprig of cilantro chopped up. The stems, who cares? As long as it tastes good, man. All right. Give it a stir. I'm turning up the heat. Already smell the cheese melting, doing its delicious thing. Alright. Put a lid. That's it, man. I'll be back in probably 20-30 minutes. I'm gonna take a shower, so count that in. I'll let you know how much time has lapsed. I got my rice cooking in my rice cooker. I'll be back for some pictures and a review, man. I'm so excited. So, what's up, world? Any tuning back in? So check it out, man. I took a shower. The squash cooked pretty good with the vapor. It's pretty clean. When I stick my fork into the squash, that smelled crazy, delicious. That Kobe Jack really came out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but we'll see. It was still kind of soupy. The tomatoes really release their juices. That's like the base. If you want to call it a soup, not sure what you want to call it, but hey, man, I'm sitting down. I prepared my Calabazitas. And I'm excited, man. It's like a Mexican-inspired dish. I grew up eating this. Side with some beans, with some eggs. You eat it for the morning, the afternoon. Almost like a side dish, but because I don't eat animals, it's gonna be my main course. I paired it with some rice, season it with how I like it. Let's dig in. Let's take a bite of just a little bit of rice and the squash. And cheers. No hot sauce, no sriracha, which I cannot find. I don't know what happened, man. Sriracha fell off. Bunch of bootleg brands, but nevertheless, man. Cheers. Okay. Oh, wow. Get a little spice. I think the charred chiles, the jalapeno, the serrano, and the poblano chard, it's really coming out. Oh yeah. It's delicious, man. I mean, to me it's savory. Probably to most people, you would want a little bit more salt. I'm good where I'm at with that because the rice, I did add some salt with that, so it pairs nicely. Man, I really enjoy like the fake chickens I make with the teriyaki sauces and soy sauces and what else. But the reason why I went plant-based is to eat whole-based meals and dishes. And well, there's nothing like it, man. All vegetables, all things you cut up there raw, you cook down. It's delicious, man. I'm looking down, it kind of looks like a curry because I broke down the onions, the tomatoes, there's garlic, a little bit of ginger, which I kind of feel in my chest. Not too much, it's not that noticeable. I feel like it was the perfect amount of onions ratio to the tomato. You probably could have, not done maybe 6, maybe just 4 tomatoes, but they were large, they were like this big. Big old things on the vine. What else? Think about the mushrooms. Haven't had one of those with the squash. Okay. The mushrooms, like I said, just for the texture, and I want to add more vegetables than just the squash, tomato, onions, and peppers. I've been really fond of cooking with mushrooms, onions, and garlic. So just experimenting kind of with a recipe and a dish already very familiar with. Kind of, it's kind of nudging me to start making my own recipes. Because right now, I know I'm still following people. But today, shout out to Mama, shout out to my tias, shout out to me. Don't mean to be narcissistic, but real talk, man. Normally I follow other people's recipes, but today feels good, man. Hold up. Nice and warm. Wow. It's delicious, bro. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna say my grace. I already ate, but I wanted to do it for the camera. Eat my salad, my little sushi. I got some vegan meatballs in the oven. I'm gonna chow down, clean my little place up, tidy up, and enjoy my day off, man. It's some busy times, but nevertheless, I'm excited to look down and look at, go from raw materials to, bam, a nice, warm, hot, tasty meal that I enjoy. I enjoy. I don't know about y'all, but it's an incredible thing. It's like making art, but that you can eat. Ooh, I went running, my lungs really expanded out, but this is Andy tuning in, man. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for, most importantly, treating yourself. Either you're making this dish, you're inspired by this dish to make something else, or put this on the side of something. Regardless, treat yourself. And just the idea of someone watching this video and doing that for themselves, more than enough. If you want to like it, it's cool. You want to subscribe, cool. But just that idea, and you actually going out and doing it for yourself, your family, your friends, your family, your loved ones, that means the world. Real talk, man. It's 82 now, man. Y'all have a blessed week. Get your goals ready, nice and lined up, and let's get it, man. Peace.